Hey there. Welcome to From Inside My Book Fort. Today I'm going to read the preface from Tom Robbins' book, Tibetan Peach Pie. I love Tom Robbins. I love him. My favorite book by Tom Robbins is Jitterbug Perfume. So I picked it up and I couldn't find one place that I loved more than another place. So then I picked up Tibetan Peach Pie thinking I'd read one of his stories. And truthfully, again, there wasn't one I loved any more than any of the others. What I do love uncategorically about Tom Robbins' writing is words, his use of words, his phrasing, his irreverence. And he kind of just sums it all up in the preface. So here we go. This is not an autobiography, God forbid. Autobiography is fueled by ego, and I could make a long list of persons whose belly buttons I'd rather be contemplating than my own. Anyway, only authors who are household names should write autobiographies. And not only is my name infrequently tumbled in the lapidary of public consciousness, but those rare homes in which it is spoken with any regularity are likely under police surveillance. I've even made an effort to avoid the autobiographical in my novels, wishing neither to shortchange imagination nor use up my life in literature. I'd like to think Tibetan Peach Pie isn't a memoir either, although it waddles and quacks enough like a memoir to be mistaken for one if the light isn't right. What it is, more precisely, is a sustained narrative composed of the absolutely true stories I've been telling the women in my life. My wife, my assistant, my fitness trainer, my yoga teacher, my sisters, my agent, et al., over many years, and which, at their insistence, I've finally written down. In order to remember events sufficiently, I've had to arrange them in more or less chronological order, which of course contributes to the book's resemblance to a memoir, as does the fact that the stories, as I've said, relate to my own experiences, encounters, follies, and observations, not those of, say, Abraham Lincoln. If Tibetan Peach Pie doesn't read like a normal memoir, that may be because I haven't exactly led what most normal people would consider a normal life. My editor claims some of this stuff is so nuts that even I couldn't have made it up. Moreover, my writing style is my writing style, whether it's in the service of fact or fiction. A pileated woodpecker is a pileated woodpecker, no matter if it roosts with the ducks. Now, despite my contention that the events described herein are absolutely true, I've never in my life kept anything remotely resembling a journal, so they are at least somewhat subject to the effects of mnemonic erosion. And some folks who were involved in the time may recall them a bit differently. C'est la vie. I do, however, happen to possess a pretty good memory and can, at a moment's notice, name the lineup of the 1947 Brooklyn Dodgers and all but one or two of my ex-wives. Whatever it may reveal about me and my personal monkey dance of life, including how I emerged from a Southern Baptist milieu to write 9 offbeat, yet fairly popular novels, published in more than 20 countries, as well as innumerable pieces for magazines and newspapers. This book also provides, perhaps more importantly, intimate verbal snapshots of, among other settings, Appalachia during the Great Depression, the West Coast during the 60s psychedelic revolution, the studios and bedrooms of Bohemian America before technology voted privacy out of the office, Timbuktu before Islamic fanatics crashed the party, international roving before Homeland Security threw a wet blanket over travel, and New York publishing before electrons intervened on behalf of the trees. Oh, and about the title. Tibetan Peach Pie is the piece de resistance, the holy grail, as it were, in an old shaggy dog story, author unknown, that Zen ranch hands may well have told around the chuck wagon. A sort of parable about the wisdom of always aiming for the stars and the greater wisdom of cheerfully accepting failure if you only reach the moon. I retold an abbreviated version in my second novel, Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, back in 1976.